So what I wanted to do today is just get you guys together because you've been working on obviously your kind of marketing strategy for the game that you're going to, well, you've been working on that over the last few weeks. Just remind us what's the name of the project.
Deadmare.
Stop with it on there.
Yeah.
And just give us like a bit of background into what promotional strategy and marketing strategy you've used as an introduction.
So first of all, we've been using YouTube to kind of like keep our audience updated with the progress of the development of the game, showing a few screenshots, showing a bit of gameplay as well. We've also been using Instagram and basically presenting work on there from everyone, so everyone's been getting screenshots of what they've been working on and just again showcasing what we're working towards.
And just to clarify, for the purpose of assessments, has everyone contributed work to that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. We all did weekly devlogs, and I think everybody's had work uploaded.
Yeah.
To some degree.
Okay, so just as a general starter question really, do you feel like your marketing strategy has been successful or not?
50-50, because I think the Instagram was successful because we had people commenting on things that they would change. Like for example, we had a comment on the M16 and how it was the comment I don't think was correct, but it was good to know that people were like trying to be
people like double checking like what we researched beforehand.
Yeah, just like this guy who I assume has some knowledge of guns was like M16s don't come out on the year that he was planning on setting the game. When I think it did end up being that it was fine, but we took that feedback and went, oh, so maybe it's not a good idea to have the actual name of the gun and just call it assault rifle, submachine gun, rather than like an actual named weapon. And you can talk about the YouTube, how well you think it did.
I think, because obviously it's a little bit more different from, say, using the Instagram, which we've done, because obviously we're doing the devlogs, it allows us to all individually talk about our pieces in enough time and show off as well what we've done. So I've been able to show off the programming, you've been able to show off the world building, you've been able to show off all the environmental assets, the weapons, the characters, and the props as well from Kieran. It's just a different experience rather than just whacking up a few basic images and just giving a bit more.
A bit more personal that way now.
Yeah, a bit more connecting more with the audience, a little bit better.
I think the only problem with the YouTube one is it's such a massive market. Not a lot of people saw it. Like I think our most video was like 20 views, which in YouTube
That's just because it was just the start of it though. So.
Yeah, okay, yeah. But like for example, like the Instagram got like 50 that sort of views with comments and stuff like that. So it was I think there's like avenues to go down with like hashtags and stuff with actually like the Instagram and stuff like that.
We can talk about that stuff later as well. So as a whole, do you think it's a bit mixed on success? You know,
50-50.
50-50. What do you think? Any platform's been like particularly better at getting
Instagram definitely.
Yeah, Instagram.
Because again, it's got more avenues to go down on hashtags and can comment on other people's things and follow other people.
So the tagging process,
yeah,
this really helps. Yeah. How would you measure whether it's been successful? You know, how are you gauging whether it's been successful or
I
not?
think that's just based off the feedback we got from it, because we had a lot more interest on the Instagram compared to YouTube. Of course, we'd have like the odd comments on it, but in terms of feedback on like, the development of the game, we didn't get that much on YouTube compared to Instagram.
And on Instagram, we got like DMs from like people going, "Oh, I produce music for games. If you would like for me to do this for you, I can offer you this for like a price, whatever." So at least it's sort of got us into like a groove of these are some people that we know, and got like other little indie studios that we contact with and comment on their work and stuff like that.
So you mentioned about being able to tag and being able to almost target your tags at certain like social groups and stuff. What do you feel? Because I feel like that in context is like it just kind of says that it's worked as far as you're concerned. Like you prefer that over other things.
Yeah.
What else has worked?
We can see that people have seen it more than the YouTube video. We can see people are interacting with it more with like likes and comments and stuff like that. Then we didn't get a lot, but we got more than we did on YouTube. So, and I think the time and effort we put into the YouTube compared to the Instagram, we got more out of the Instagram than we did for the YouTube, even though it was more work put into it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that sort of...
So Kieran, what do you feel's worked well?
Just like collaboration and just communication on the most part, just going back and forth and helping each other. Like whenever we've made, like some of us have made mistakes or just just improve like the workflow of like some of the assets, like just making stuff all together. Like
So, because I think one of the biggest benefits of using like a social media platform like this is you do get feedback from people outside the circle, so they haven't got any kind of bias or like, you know, they're not really trying to protect you, they just say it like as it is. Have there been any comments like that? Or?
Aside from the one, like the gun one,
Yeah.
not particularly, but not that I can think of is usually people liking and stuff like that, because you sort of need to build up quite a good relationship with people like that to get those sort of comments. But I think we actively went and commented on other people's things, given that sort of criticism for other people, so hopefully get that back. But I don't think we went long enough.
We did receive one bit of criticism on the one YouTube video, because there was the one guy that said, yeah, because he was about, I think he was showing off the house level, and he was on about, oh, you need to have a banister on your stairs.
Oh yeah, the stair.
Because it doesn't make sense the zombies would just fly down the staircase.
It's got a point.
So from then, sometimes, more recent videos we've had, the ladders are pretty good, they're functioning well, it's very interesting to see what it's going to come out to be. I think perhaps it would have been nice to see a little bit more of that and try and almost target our content towards, you know, getting that feedback rather than just saying, oh, we've made this.
Yeah, like showing the game, showing the game and talking over it, rather than, yeah.
Okay. So what hasn't worked then? Because you said it's like 50-50, so what would you say hasn't worked, just in a summary, because obviously I'm going to
I think like what you said with the YouTube, it's such a large platform to try and get a market base of for the studio and the game. It's a lot more difficult on there. Obviously the tags have helped a lot with Instagram.
Yeah.
Because that's the quite simple thing to do. But I think YouTube is a lot. I think you have to continuously upload the content that we put up there.
I mean, it needs to be. I think if we was going to next time if we did the YouTube again, we'd have to make them either shorter or do the thing you said where we talk over the video showing very specific things. So more like less of like a long 30-minute video, or a 12-minute video saying this is what we did, showing it.
Yeah, because we would do like 30.
We did like
30-minute videos of like full-on edited cut videos to upload on there, but it just wasn't getting enough views for it.
What I'd say as well is like with the YouTube stuff, we should have, like if we do it again, maybe link our channel to like forums on Reddit, things like that. Like
promote that.
Yeah.
So we've kind of already started on this, but how would you improve the strategy for future projects you mentioned?
Yeah, just sharing like everything on different platforms, like not just constraining to Instagram and YouTube. Make sure like we use multiple platforms such as LinkedIn, Reddit, and just kind of expose the project a bit further. Just because, yeah, we did alright with what we did. It's just that we was more focused on making the game than spending all our time making the game, rather than like, you know, worrying about the marketing side as well.
Yeah, I
So,
think
like,
it would have been interesting to maybe stream it. Because then you have like an interaction between you and an audience that you get from Instagram, etc.
So one of the things you've used quite a lot is ArtStation, haven't you?
Yep.
So have you used that in any way, or?
In the Instagram, we had a link tree which has everybody's portfolio, website or ArtStation. So like when someone's tagged in the video there, role is right at front and centre who's being presented. Then you can go up to the link tree and find their, if anybody wants to look at their like work, if there was interest in stuff like that, to sort of link back to the personal side of people in the portfolio.
Yeah. So you've kind of done like a bit of a blanket campaign, really, you've done YouTube, Instagram, and all that kind of stuff. Would you use the same approach again, or do you think you would refine things down a little bit?
Definitely refine things. Yeah, I think because of how content is produced now and how like attention span and stuff like that, instead of doing YouTube, I think it would be better to do a TikTok. Mainly just because shorter, you can make more stuff quicker, and there's a big community around that sort of stuff. Like there's it's like Instagram but for video. There's hashtags. You can tag people. There's already people that upload their game content on TikTok, and it works really well.
It's that ease of interaction as well, just swiping through instead of like going off the page and going to the next one.
Exactly. You can swipe through and go, oh, this looks interesting, like, look at the comments, stuff like that. Give like feedback.
So you use TikTok?
Yeah.
You haven't used TikTok this time? Okay. Cool. So one of the questions I wanted to ask was, so again, you've used YouTube and you've used Instagram. Do you use any other platforms, Facebook as well?
No, we didn't do Facebook.
So we haven't looked into it.
We looked into it in Twitter just because they also have a very good indie thing. They have a whole like Twitter has those like big main hashtags that recommend stuff that's got popular, and there's a big one for like indie games and stuff like that. They get really popular, but I don't think any of us are really proficient in Twitter, so we didn't really pursue it.
Yeah. So, how does the methods that you've used within your marketing campaign, how does that appeal and address to keep the key markets that you're targeting for your game?
Do you want to take this one out?
Can you repeat the question one more time?
Yeah. So you've mentioned as a group that you've been using YouTube and Instagram.
Yeah.
How does your marketing methods address the key markets? How does it appeal to those markets?
Stuff like dead market and like our target audience and stuff like that.
I don't know. I don't even know how to answer that.
Do you want to hand it off to anybody else? Do you want to get it all over?
So let's just focus on this for a bit. So when you think about the social media platforms that you use actively,
Yeah.
which ones would you say you're most active on?
Instagram.
Instagram. So if I was a developer and I wanted to target you on it, you being on Instagram the most,
Yeah.
if I put it on TikTok, YouTube, you wouldn't even see those things.
No.
But because you're using that marketing tool, the advertising tool, it's kind of fed into that. Okay. So how does the way you've marketed your game and the platforms that you've decided to use as a group, how does that target your generation? How does it target the market for your game?
For me personally,
you as the kind of
as a developer,
and you as a consumer of the games.
well, probably just because of what I do in my spare time, really, that kind of links that kind of thing anyway.
So let's think about it a different way. Why wouldn't you put it in the newspaper or a magazine?
Because I don't want to be really offensive, but younger generations don't often go out and get newspapers.
Yeah.
So, like younger people and people that are like most likely more interested to see this kind of thing will be using social media.
Okay.
So.
Alright. Okay, so does anyone else want to build on that?
I mean, that's why stuff like TikTok and Instagram does so well, because I know Instagram's introduced its shorts.
Oh yeah.
Because most people that use Instagram are of a younger audience, to say. So when they're scrolling through these things, they'll see something instantly that catches their eye. They'll go, I like that.
What do they do?
They go, ooh!
They'll see that, they'll think, that catches my eye.
Yeah.
And because more specifically going for our game, going for a much more of an older generation, perhaps having used something like Twitter, which is more so going for an older age rating, it's able to, appeal to that. That's the market we want to go for. And because we're already targeting people that are in that similar age range, using that platform, it allows us to connect with them, and then they're more than possibly likely going to share it with somebody else of a similar age, and it just goes from there.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. Like, it does make more sense for your generation to do things like TikTok and stuff, because watching a 30-minute video, like, I've watched a couple of them, but I can honestly hold my hands up and say I haven't watched every single one all the way through.
Oh yeah.
Because it'd be like watching Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, that's right.
So, yeah.
Deadlock movie. It's too much.
6.2 hours.
Okay, so we mentioned TikTok already, so I'll just kind of repeat the question really, just to make sure it's all covered. What alternatives, marketing, promotional options could you consider for the future? We've mentioned TikTok already, but is there anything else you need to think about?
If we did TikTok, because I know a lot of people who do like content creation do this. TikTok is short-term videos. YouTube has YouTube Shorts. Instagram has Shorts. You can make a TikTok and have the same video on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram.
Okay.
And if you want, you could put it on Twitter. So that's probably the best way to do it in that sort of way. If we was going to do short-term content like quick updates,
Yeah.
but again, we would have to do a lot of editing and stuff like that.
So it'd be more like you're doing the same content but use a broader range of platforms.
Yeah, broad range of platforms and
But more clips rather than
Yeah.
long.
Yeah.
Okay.
like video clips and
I add on. Something I mentioned earlier about streaming, maybe Twitch. Personally, I went on Twitch to look at like game developments and art, and there is a category in there, and it's not massive, but it's still there, and a lot of people still watch. A lot of content creators do that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like because we already have an Instagram that has built up an audience, we could use that audience and tell them, hey, we're streaming, and they can come over and we can interact with them, answer questions, get feedback, as well as they will, participate in the development of the game, because they're going to find it more interesting.
So I was going to say, one of the main issues I saw with Instagram is that most of the people that like and comment on stuff were developers who were using the hashtag that we were using.
Yeah.
So it's hard to get people who actually would probably buy the game to watch a Twitch video.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of the people were indie studios that we were commenting on, they commented back, liked back and stuff like that. There wasn't a lot of people who were just scrolling through and going, oh, there's a game that looks quite interesting. It's always people going, oh, this person's doing an indie game as well. I'll give them some feedback and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
I've seen that myself. Like when you interact with a post, they kind of go, "Oh, who's this?" and then they click on it.
yeah, exactly. And they like a few, and
Yeah, exactly. That's a good idea. Good, like natural growth, isn't it?
yeah.
One of the things that I've seen personally is with the game called Ashley Creation. The devs do like dev vlogs and things like that, kind of similar to the way you guys are doing it, but they also use Discord. So it's the reason why you wouldn't use Discord, or would you use Discord as like an option?
Probably a good
Why not
way
build a
to
community?
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
community building tool,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
they can share feedback, they can share stuff, get
Mhm.
feedback, distribute questionnaires, all that kind of stuff all in Discord.
I can't remember the name of the game, but there's a game on TikTok where it's like a roguelike shooter, and they take stuff from the comments and make it into a weapon. So that's sort of how a way to build like a community, because people are actually helping build the game and like extend the game further because they're making like new weapons and stuff. I wish I could remember the name.
It's really powerful because, especially when people don't know how to dev games, like they'll look at it and go, they'll see something and like, oh, I can influence this in some way. And
Exactly.
they kind of really point into that, which I think is pretty cool. Okay, so we mentioned the clips and stuff like that. So were there any, because you mentioned that one game, I
Yeah.
can't remember the name of, were there any other games that you could see as inspiration for good promo, good marketing techniques?
There's a game recently it's coming out in the next few months actually, called Project Z. The way they do their marketing is that they pretty much don't really post on anything, but they do a Patreon where people donate and a Kickstarter where they give updates on there. But then they also get like content creators on YouTube and Twitch to stream their game constantly. Even though it's in a buggy state and like an alpha stage, they'll just keep getting them to basically play the game and get feedback. All their people who are watching, like their fans and that, will give feedback on it. And instead of spending loads of money on paying someone to just post on Instagram, TikTok or whatever, they use that money just to pay the content creator to play the game, and that's literally what they do. And I think Project Z's got like 1 million plus like following at the moment, and it's crazy. And it's a similar game to ours, like a zombie shooter, so it's like,
The copy of it.
yeah,
Obviously,
carbon
Deadmare.
copy.
Just like COD.
Yeah.
Any other examples of good promo?
I know it's AAA, it's obviously different to our type of studio, which is more indie, more
Yeah.
based. But the people who made Dead Island and the way they marketed their game with the trailer,
Yeah.
because obviously trailers make a big impact, games like Gears of War,
Yeah.
Dead Island, Halo, but especially with Dead Island, the fact that that trailer managed to capture so many people before, without even seeing any game or anything of what the game looks like. If we perhaps had maybe done something like that with a teaser or something, it captures a lot more people, and as I said, it spreads it around, and then people are going to want to see what we actually are producing with the devlogs, what we are producing on Instagram, and start building that community.
Because one thing to bear in mind, and this is something to move forward with really, but like the time that you've had to make this project, in the grand scheme of things, if you look at games like Eden Star with Flix at the moment, they've been doing that game for years, years and years, and you guys are still very much in the infancy, so like, you know, it would naturally grow, but I think it's good for you to be able to take a step back and look at what you're doing at the moment as a promo and go, well, we need to change the direction a little bit, we need to move away from the longer dev blogs, do more clips, more short videos, that kind of thing. And I think that's a valuable thing to take forward as well, like if you do have something like this in the future, whether it's in development or at uni, I think you'll learn a lot from doing this, right or wrong. You know. Any other games?
A game that I thought was No Man's Sky, because they follow like pretty much the same format for whenever they release like an update for the trailer. It's like a minute long, it's got the same music, and they have sort of a vagueness, like they don't show what the whole update is, it's just like, so it sort of just invokes like the consumer's like curiosity and to like check it out and come back to the game and just go back through it again.
It's like a teaser.
No Man's Sky famously though, that
Yeah, the original marketing was awful. Over scope.
The beginning of it is like not like a good example of how to start out and release a game, but like since then, like the format of these trailers and stuff that go through is like, it's a good format, it's like nice and simple.
So do you feel like they've like learned from the mistakes?
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
Give it very good. Moat me, Mike.
They sort of do like an update roadmap, like a lot of games do it now. Once a game's released, they update on Twitter, Steam, or whatever they're uploaded on, and say, here's what we're going to do next update. That is done, all the bugs are fixed and stuff like that, which is sort of a good way to tell people to come back. Oh, we've got new guns. Please come back.
Some of that only comes from the fact that the game is so poorly done that the fans are having to complain.
Well, not all the time. Like that.
Some of the Anthem was.
But like Valheim's a good example. Game's fine, but they update it on all the time. But they update it with like, I think the newest one was like they had to do food. But it's like the best advertisement to come back. But
it's like they're starting off with games that
aren't finished,
and then promise them down the line. Whereas it's just give them, because you pay nearly 60 or whatever it's going to cost you for that game, you deserve the finished version, not something that like gets finished over
Battlefield.
Well, yeah, like a Battlefield. That's why that massively failed, because it was over-marketed, lacked all the features and stuff, and ultimately lost its player base within a space of weeks.
I think most new games are just, here's the game it's done, like that Goose game, no updates, here's a game we play Goose, and so that's the game.
That was
exactly.
I think we could talk about good promo material and bad promos and things like that all day, but so was there any other kind of games that you thought of, good marketing, bad marketing?
I think I was going to touch on like, sort of the same thing that Ben said about Dead Island, because Gears of War did the same thing as well when they released a teaser trailer. So I feel like if we continued with the YouTube, I think having teaser trailers would have helped build that interest more. There's having like 30-long devlog videos, a couple minutes, a minute of just showing like a quick snippet of what the game is and what it's about. So when I think we get like a prologue of like a Gears of War franchise itself, because we've done obviously previously you two have done a Deadmare original.
Yeah.
I think having that jump start to like a new beginning of like showing a whole new development and like all the characters are all completely different, and that would have been a really good interest for it. But yeah,
I think it was going to do that. We'd have to do devlogs not every week. Every month, for example, to go, here's all the things we've done, and like a screenshot of what it used to look like and what it looks like now. Because if we're doing like a long video, you don't have to see. If you're doing shorts, like on a TikTok, you can see here's the start, here's the end, and do like a minute scroll through and see really quickly.
I'm gonna say with the TikTok thing as well, there's the people show processes on not just games, but like to do like simple things in life, like simple guidance, not life hacks or anything. but yeah, I feel like if we did that, we could have showed like a process to how things are done behind the scenes, to sort of tap into the industry as well, because I feel there's not much. Although Ellis mentioned it about having it on Twitch, it's not really much of a following on it. And
It hasn't got very good discoverability, has it?
No, and to be watching someone do it, it's a long process to do, especially someone streaming it.
Yeah.
So I feel like showing a snippet of the process of something being done through TikTok would have been a lot more beneficial.
I've seen people who've done dev vlogs, but they've done like on Twitch, they'll just like make the game while they're on Twitch.
Yeah.
And like comparing to like the normal Twitch content and having those dev vlogs, they literally have like 10 people viewing them.
Yeah.
And these are people with like millions of followers. So that conversion rate is just like, it's non-existent really. Not saying that it never work, but I'm just saying like how
It's
it's
quite,
yeah. Any others? Last ones?
So, a game called Star Citizen, it was on Kickstarter. Massively notorious for kind of being this like long stretch of just like a goal that is not in sight. I think you brought up the idea of like the Patreon funding earlier.
Yeah.
But an idea in like Kickstarter would be, it's a bit like Instagram where you can constantly bring out like devlogs, updates. But what you can also do as well is if you reach like a milestone, so like a milestone like in terms of money, how much you get, you can like kind of give something back to the audience. So you can be like, okay, we reached our milestone today. We'll have a vote, and we'll have a vote for like what to put in the game. And depending on who, like, what wins the vote, actually gets put in the game by the audience, stuff like that. But that is kind of interacting with the audience as well as getting good publicity.
Publicity. There you go.
Yeah, that's it. That as
And
well.
a good bit of dollar on the way.
Yeah.
So,
Money.
you anything else? Or?
I can't think of anything else.
Cool. I've got two more questions. So moving forward now, if you were taking this project forward, I don't know if you're going to like carry on with it or what you're going to do.
Of course we are.
Every day.
What's the next step for your marketing? Like, what would you change? Like right now, like would you get rid of some stuff? Would you introduce some
Get
stuff?
rid of YouTube.
I don't think we'd get rid of it.
Not get rid of it, just make it
We'd
complete.
have to change it completely because long form videos won't work. I think the best idea is the short film that we can do, short YouTube shorts, Instagram shorts, TikTok shorts, have those be interactable. So have, for example, a TikTok video which is like, guys, this is one of our things. Would you change anything or anything like that? So then they can have interactability, have people like feel they're part of the game process. So they would want to buy the game. So like, ooh, I helped make that trouser. You know what I mean?
I mean, for like the devlog thing, instead of doing like as a weekly basis, just do it like once per month, because then you could cover like a much more of an amount of stuff, like do one thing, it's much more condensed.
That would not help with the short videos.
Yeah.
If you're doing a long video for the month.
I think it would be short videos are small things, so more like Instagram. Here's a model that we made. Here's where it's going to go, stuff like that. And a long form video every month, going like see how Sea of Thieves does it.
Yeah.
How they go. This is what we've done over this month.
Yeah.
Here's where we go next. Sort of just like an update. Oh, we're still working on the game. Thank you for supporting us and stuff like that. Then along the way, update on what's actually being done, physically and behind the scenes stuff.
To be fair, even if you did the long video, you could do like most YouTubers do now.
Just cut it up.
Yeah, like it's a long video and then just cut clips and then put that on their clips channel and then link both channels and it kind of
The grind.
yeah, it kind of works with the algorithm.
Yeah.
So they look at the clips or the long video and then they can watch like the long video and then it boosts up the
Each advertises each other.
Yeah.
So how is that targeting your audience more so than what you're doing at the moment?
Because our target audience was, what was the target audience again? 18.
It was like 16, 18.
Yeah, I thought it was like 16, 18. So obviously there is a younger audience on all these platforms. Like there's a younger audience on every platform. But I know things like Facebook have an older audience now. Instagram is getting into the older audience now. But I think TikTok is where most people are looking right now. So it's one of the most popular platforms just in the world in general. YouTube is also one of the most popular. So if both of those are having the exact same content from us, as well as long form, as well as a long form video that they all advertise towards, that would work better to like get our audience advertised to, because they'll all be a lot of 18-year-olds watch YouTube rather than watching TV or looking at Facebook or reading the newspaper. So I think that would be better to do, especially because attention spans are getting smaller.
So last question. So one of the big things that's obviously happened over the last couple of years has been COVID.
Mhm.
So how would that change your marketing strategy?
So obviously a lot more people at home now. So the thing is that I feel like because there's a certain time when you should upload on like Instagram or that kind of thing. Like there's like an algorithm to do it to get more publicity. I feel like if people are at home most of the time, the algorithm sort of goes out the window.
Yeah.
Because like if they're on a break or they're working from home, like they'll probably just like every 5 minutes or something on the phone just click going through Instagram. So you'd have to rethink when your upload schedules are and like when the best time to kind of upload is. I feel like Instagram has like insights page, don't they? So you can see when like when people are most active on your page. So you'd have to use that information and kind of like judge when you want to upload.
Yeah.
And obviously there's like YouTube analytics to say when the views are most up and like. So I think like when it's I think it's when it's summer, a lot of people don't look at YouTube.
Yeah. Well,
So like things like that we might not do as long as an update video, like a 30-minute update video.
there's summer for that, and I think like on Facebook and stuff like in the winter, like not a lot of people look at Facebook and all this sort of stuff. It's weird.
Yeah, you can like almost make full use of the social media because what else are people going to be doing in COVID lockdown?
Obviously, COVID it's not as impactful right now. It's getting out of it, but yeah.
The one thing we could do as well, which is a really good idea, would be if people are at home, a lot more. So if we had like, I don't know, our first map with the house level, if we had like a basic like working prototype of that, you could tell everyone, well, if you, I don't know, pay like £10 or something, you can get the working prototype of the game, and then they can play that and give to their friends like, oh, we played this demo and like, and one thing that would help with us as well is the way how CD Projekt Red do things. So they have DRM-free games, so basically you can pirate it as much as you want, and they just allow you to do that.
Encouraging pirating.
Well, I'm not encouraging it, but say if their friend brought the game and then there was like, oh, do you want to play this and sent it over us, like for us as a business, it's not really a bad thing because it's just a playable demo, which they can just...
Oh yeah, the demo being DRM.
Yeah, so we can just have more marketing. It's sort of like, it's not really...
Not the full game DRM.
No. But like the demo...
We need a bit of cash.
Like, as a business, like, it's free marketing.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
it was free anyways, it's just easier to send them over.
Was there anything else you'd like to do if you had the opportunity to do, and obviously in the COVID-free world?
QA,
that would be good. Yeah,
so like what he touched on just would have been easily done.
Or expos.
Oh yeah, expos.
For the original Deadmare, we did the expo.
Yeah.
We had a lot of feedback from that.
Yeah, well, we had a lot of people come up and play the game.
You can book like a convention, can't you?
I mean, places like E3 would be like a good place,
EGX.
but it's...
EGX.
Well,
EGX is more achievable than E3.
Yeah,
so-
we have.
I mean, E3 is like, I think they've like stopped shop on that for this year.
Oh yeah, they want to stop for a while. But yeah, usually at E3 you need like big, like I think like Insomnia is also a good one, which is a UK based one. And there's a lot of like really basic indie games there.
EGX is probably the best one because I'm pretty sure they give you indie booths, which are a lot cheaper than the normal ones.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you're more towards the back, but like, yeah, it's still really
I mean,
good.
I think it's seven Insomnia as well.
When we went, the first few games going in, stuff like Strange Brigade.
Yeah.
You know, that was right there on the front. So if we're right there, if people walking in, they'll see Deadmare and they'll go, "Oh, game."
And what is the other one? There's EGX and there's Res. Yeah, that's another one where it's basically for indie games.
Just down in London in Orthodox.
Yeah.
That's quite cool.
So you think, because with Stuff Shooting, they usually have a booth at EGX. I've seen them a couple of times do that. And there's also what's it called now? Creative Britain. They have Creative Britain or something like that.
Yeah.
Creative Britain. They have usually have a booth there as well to promote in groups and stuff like that. So again, there's options there. There will be options there for you guys in the future as well. So
yeah, that'd be good to take advantage of.
In the future. But like you say, EGX has kind of been cancelled. It was due to run this year, but it got cancelled. Right, so that is it really. Is there anything else that you guys would like to add before finishing recording?
I think we've talked about it.
Just better marketing,
Better
more
marketing.
shorts.
A little bit of TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok.
It's more of a focus on like
Yeah.
TikTok and Instagram.
On shorter,
And
shorter
looking
videos.
more at like insights as well, so knowing exactly when to upload, when
Yep.
the most popular time is.
Mhm.
So, in summary, less long videos,
Yep.
more short videos,
Mhm.
using TikTok.
Or even a Discord as well to build up a
I think
community.
just generally just
Discord.
branching out into more platforms.
Yeah.
Maybe
Using the
look-
same content more.
Yeah.
Maybe look into how other indie games market their games as well, because obviously not every company market their games the same way.
Yeah.
So looking out into the market, see how they advertise their games,
Yeah.
you know, what they do.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Pay more attention to the analytics, like the insights.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.